Hello students, hello everyone, those who are preparing for competitive exam and all the students, those who really require the essence of grammar. Today we are going to discuss about one of the most important topics called as articles. Most of the times many students argue that articles itself is a separate part of speech, but it is not a separate part of speech, but articles are part of adjectives. As you know, adjectives are the words which qualify or which describe something about noun or pronoun. So, articles are adjectives and a type of determiners. And in our further videos, we will also see or we will also discuss about the determiners. So, friends, today we are going to discuss deeply about this topic called articles. Articles define a noun as specific or unspecific one. And here an adjective talks about the noun definitely or indefinitely. When it wants to specify it, it defines definitely, and when it does not want to specify, when it is indefinite, it specifies unspecifically or indefinitely. If you look at what are the different kinds of articles, so there are three types of articles. So they are indefinite article, definite article, or zero article, no article, or omission of article. So these are the three different divisions or types of articles. Now let us look at each specific division in detail. So the first one is indefinite article. So a and an, these two articles are called as indefinite articles. The moment you look at indefinite, in means not, in, un, il. So all these things, the meaning is not. So which is not definite is called as indefinite. So in this way, so we call a and an as indefinite articles. So they are indefinite because it leaves indefinite the person or things spoken of. If you just look at the example, a doctor. I met a doctor. So a doctor is any doctor it can be. I'm not specifying which doctor he or she is. So in that way, I just said about a doctor. So here, if you just look at the uses of indefinite articles, so there are basically three uses which we can see here, because mainly these specify commonly a and an both together specify certain things. So indefinite articles in the original sense they mean one. So simply, so they mean only one thing. So we can simply say about singular one. So not a word was said, not a word. So a word in other words can be said as one word. So instead of saying one word, we just simply said a word. So in that way we said not a word was said. And here we just speak about a single noun to represent a group. So we are using single noun to represent a group. So simply if you just look at the example, a cow is a useful animal. So a cow means here the whole group of cows, they refer with this a cow. And further if you see the third use, used only before single countable nouns. So whenever we have a single countable nouns, when we spoke about the nouns, I told you the noun number. So in the noun number we have countable and uncountable nouns. So in the countable nouns we have singular and the plural. So here singular means only one. So when we use only one thing, it is just used in the singular. So thus it is not used in the plural nouns. Only when we have one, or in the single sense we use the indefinite nouns. So simply if you just look at the example, I have an apple. So I have one apple, only single apple I have. So to represent these we use the indefinite articles in common. A and an both together, they are used in this way. Let's look at the usage of a and an. First let us look at the usage of a, the indefinite article. If you just look at, there are basically two important uses of a. The first one is, if you look at A is used before the consonants. So if you just look at the examples, a boy, a girl, a horse, a woman, in this way. When you just look at English, you have to just remember two important things. In English, we have two different aspects called the letters, which is called alphabet, and the other one is sounds, which is called phonetics. Here, when you just look at, so we have to remember that there are letters as well as sounds. So first rule or first use talks about the letters, the 21 consonants. So here we have a 21 consonants here. So it talks about this 21 consonants. And the second one is before a word beginning with a consonant sound. If you just look into the consonant sounds, which are called phonetics, here we have this particular sound called U, and though the letters are vowels but their sound is consonant. If you just look at a university, a union, a European, a unicorn, so if you just look at the sound U is pronounced, even if you just take into our own native languages of Telugu, Hindi, and other languages of Indian origin, you just can look here that you have U, the Ya sound, and even in English also we have this particular sound. And since we get this particular sound, we just decide that is a consonant sound. And if you just look at here, here also a 1 rupee note, we get the sound of V, and here a one-eyed man. So this is the way where we decide the consonant sounds. So when we further go in our further videos, I am also going to teach you about phonetics. There we will learn about more sounds and how we pronounce them. And now if you just look at the second use, that is usage of an is used before a word beginning with a vowel. Here, as we know, there are 5 vowels, that is A, E, I, O, U. And here these 5 vowels, when we have just before these 5 vowels, we use the article called an ant, an elephant, an egg, an umbrella, so on. If you just look at here, the second use is here before a word beginning with a vowel sound. As we had it here, the consonant sound, we also have the vowel sound here. And as you know, students, so we also have some silent letters in English. We will learn in our further videos about even the silent letters too. So here, when we just look at English, this is the unique feature of English where we have silent letters. So here if you just see, so whenever we have silent H followed by vowel, then we would be talking about in terms of vowel sounds. So if you just look at here, an hour, an air, an honest man. So here H is silent, whereby the letter after that is all the vowels, O, E and O here. So these are the vowels. So any H, if it is silent and followed by vowel, so the vowel sound we pronounce. So thus we place an instead of a. So this is all about the indefinite article. Now let us look at the next one, the second one, that is the definite article. Hello friends. Now let us look at the usage of the definite article the. Sometimes people are often confused where to use the and the. And if you write in the written language, we don't have any confusion. The, the or the, whatever it may be, the spelling is same. But in our spoken language, where do we use the, where do we use the? The simple difference is between the vowels and the consonants. So when we use vowels, we use the. When we use consonants, we use the. And coming to the usage, or where do we use, or what do you mean by definite article, means this definite article talks about specification or exactness. The moment you just look at definite by itself, it includes the meaning which is exact, which is already specified. And if you just look at, there are some of the uses of this particular definite article. The first one is to talk about a particular person or thing. Means here we already referred about that particular thing and we are trying to speak about the same thing. If I simply say I saw a man on the road, the man is tall. Now already in my first sentence I already referred to that particular man and now I am trying to refer to that person once again. So in that way we are going to speak about that particular person. And now if you just look at the example, let's go to the park, maybe the park which is very near to my house and which I often visit. So in that way, the park, that specified park which I am trying to speak about. And coming to the second rule or second usage, before different kinds of landscapes, means different kinds of landforms. So specified different kinds of landforms we would be using about. First one is before mountains or mountain ranges. So here the Himalayas, the Alps, the Eastern Ghats, the Western Ghats. So there are so many examples that we can sort out. And coming to the next one, plateaus. The Deccan Plateau, the Indo-Gangetic Plateau. So here in this way you would be talking about. And the next one is plains. So in the plains we just speak about the Indo-Gangetic plain. Okay, so in that way we will be speaking about the Indo-Gangetic plain. And the next one is about the deserts. You know, the Sahara desert, the Thar desert and many other deserts in such a way. And then next one, coming to the next one here, we speak about group of islands. And in the group of islands, we speak about the West Indies and many other islands in such a way. Now coming to the next one, here we speak about different kinds of waterscapes. Up to now we have seen the landforms or landscapes. Now we are going to look at the different kinds of water bodies or different kinds of waterscapes here. If you just look at the first one is rivers. So in the rivers you can see many rivers, the Nile, the Ganges, the river Godavari, the Krishna, so many other rivers you can take as examples. And then next one we just look at the seas. And then if you see the sea, the Bay of Bengal, the Black Sea and many other seas, the Arabian Sea. So there are many other examples that we can take here. And then next one is oceans. We can take about the Indian Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. So many other oceans we can just take about. And then taking about the canals, the Suez Canal and many other canals, whatever we get. And here we also take the different other water forms which has the names. Especially, you know, we can take about riverlets and then we can also take tributaries of rivers. So all those water bodies also come under this particular use. And then coming to the next one, before the names of certain books. Generally in some of the grammar books it is given before the holy books alone. And here it is not just before the holy books alone. So it is before very important books. We can see here the Ramayana, the Quran, the Bible, the Adi Granth, the Janda Vesta. So all these are the holy books. And we can also say Iliad and many other books in such a way. The Wings of Fire. So these are all the different important books that we have. So here the fifth usage is before the names of unique things. Unique means which is only one. So if you just look at these particular things, so here you have the sun, the moon, the earth and all these things, they are unique. They have only one of their kind. And then coming to the next usage, the sixth usage is here before the names of certain countries which include a group. So generally if there is only one country name, so for example if you take India, we don't say the India, we simply say India. But here when you have a group of states or something coming together forming one nation or one country, then we just use them. Especially where we have republic, kingdom in their country names, then definitely we would be using the before them. And if you see the USA, the United States of America, the United Kingdom, UK, the Netherlands, the Irish Republic and all those things we would be using the before them. And here for the Netherlands, so the capital city is The Hague. So even to the country name, capital name, Hague also we use the. Some more uses of the definite article are, the seventh use is, we use definite article the with superlative degree or with superlatives. When we use the highest, the lowest, the worst, the best, when you use all these superlative degrees and the adjectives of superlative degree, we use the darkest cloud, the tallest mountain, the shortest boy. So in this way, we will be using many things with the. And the eighth one is with ordinals. We should know these ones. So when I was already talking to you in my previous video about adjectives, I told you adjectives of number. So when I told you about adjectives of number, so I told you about three different kinds of adjectives of number: definite numeral adjective, indefinite numeral adjective, distributive numeral adjective. So in the definite numeral adjective, I have just told you about the cardinals and the ordinals. Cardinals are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. And ordinals are first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and so on. So if you see here, the first, the second, the last. So in this way, you would be using before the ordinals. And coming to the ninth use, before musical instruments. As you know, you have heard about many musical instruments like the flute, the guitar, the violin, the tabla, the harmonium, and many other musical instruments, whatever we have. And the tenth use is before an adjective when the noun is understood. So the noun, generally, as you know, the adjective qualifies a noun, and after the adjective we have noun after it. But here in this certain words, certain adjectives, they simply include noun in them. See, for example, the poor, the rich. When you say the poor means the poor people. Here the rich means the rich people. So the poor people and the rich people. So instead of saying the poor people, we simply say the poor, and the word, the noun, people is understood. So in this way, so here we have a, before an adjective when the noun is understood, we use the definite article the before it. And the 11th use is when we use two comparatives. Generally in the positive, comparative and superlative degree, in the degrees of comparison, we will be learning about the degrees of comparison in our next video. So here what we do is, generally we use one comparative. He is taller than his brother. So here we use the word taller, and this is only single comparative. But when we use two comparatives, then we use the before them. Here if you see the higher and the cooler. So here this is one comparative and this is the second comparative. So here we have used two comparatives here. So the higher, the cooler. The higher you go, the cooler you feel. So here when we use two comparatives also, we use the definite article the. And this is the end of the uses of the. Coming to the third one, that is a zero article or no article. We can also call it as a omission of article. Whatever you say, the meaning is same. Sometimes the terminology changes, and students or even the people they get confused about this particular thing. But three names, the zero article, no article, or you say omission of the article, everything is same. Students, if you see here, what are these uses where we don't use the article? Here if you see, the article is omitted or article is not used. Here first one is before proper nouns. So whenever you have names, especially names of the persons and places, specific names of persons and places. So for these two, basically we don't use definite article or indefinite article. So we don't use any article. So here Raju, India, Hyderabad, these are proper nouns, and thus we don't use any articles. And the second one, before material nouns. Here when we talk about the material nouns, material means sources. Okay, resource material from which something is made, or many forms are possible. See, for example, there are different ornaments, so which are made of gold. Maybe whatever type of ornament they have, gold is in them. So in that way, this is the source material. Gold is the source material. So when you talk about such kind of materials, we use no article before them, like gold, silver, wood. We make a lot of furniture, doors, windows, many things. So wood is the common thing in them. So this is the source material. So this such kind of things all are known to be as the material nouns. So the next one is the third use is before abstract nouns. So when I was talking to you about the nouns, so I told you there are different kinds of nouns, concrete nouns and the abstract nouns. Abstract means which is not seen, which is not touched, which we can only feel or experience. So that are called as abstract nouns. So abstract nouns, we don't use any article before them, like knowledge, wisdom, bravery. So before all these words, we don't use any article. So next one, before meals, whatever we eat, the meals, before them, we don't use any article. Lunch, dinner, breakfast, supper, all these words, we don't use any article. But there are certain exceptions where if we want to specify something, then we start using the. The lunch that I had today was very good. So here the lunch, because I'm specifying about that particular lunch. And the next one, the fifth one is before food grains. When we take as a whole the food grains, so we would be using no article. So here rice, wheat, sugar, all these are the food grains and the material here. And then here, sixth one is before languages. Here when we use about different languages, when we just want to speak about different language names, then we don't use any article, like English, French, Telugu and other languages names. So students, here one more thing we have to notice. The moment we say the English, we also say the English. As I already told you here, the rich, the poor. Here the English means the English people, not the language name. That to refer to the people. So the English people, that is the meaning. So we simply say the English. And here the French means here the French people, not the language. This is to refer to the people. So please notify. So when it is used in the sentence, you have to just identify whether is it used for the people or for the language. So if it is used for language, no article is used. If it is used for people, then article is used. So please notify or notice when you just, especially when you write in the examination, you should be very, very careful. Especially students, those who are preparing for the competitive examinations, you should be very, very careful. And the next one, seventh one, before school, college, church, hospital, university or many other places, public places especially, when they are used for primary purpose, okay, then we don't use any article. What are these primary purpose and secondary purpose? Means if I am directly involved for something, then that is called primary purpose, and if I am not directly involved, that is secondary purpose. See, for example, if a student is going to school and studying, it is his primary purpose of getting education. As a parent, if someone wants to go, it is going for a visiting purpose. So that is the secondary purpose. So my son goes to school daily. Now I don't say the school, because it is my son's primary purpose of education. So when we use any place for the primary purpose of education, our primary purpose, then we don't use any article. Yes, my uncle is admitted in hospital, so he is taking the treatment. So this is one of the example for it. And then the last use is with a zero article or no article. So here before relations. So when we talk about relationships, there also we generally don't use. So here father, mother, aunt, uncle, so all these are the different relations. So students, here how to differentiate and understand between these three articles: indefinite article, definite article, zero article. So the simple thing is, when it is not definite, that is indefinite article. When it is definite, that is definite article. And when it is general, when we use it in general sense, then that is called as a zero article or no article or omission of the article. So when they give you in the examination, they say a and the and no article. So in that way, whichever is there suitable from all these, you can just choose them. I hope this video has helped you a lot to understand about articles. And in my next video, I'm just going to speak about the degrees of comparison. So please keep watching all my videos, especially those students those are preparing for competitive examinations, the students of class 10th, inter and graduation students. So to all the students, it is very useful. So please subscribe to my channel and watch the video until end, and then forward even to other students, and for them also it would be useful. Hope to see you in the next video. Thank you all for being with me. See you in the next video.